from the MCPLive.tv studios, located in downtown Conroe. It's the Conroe Art League, live.
Hello, and welcome to Cal Live, the show that introduces you, one by one, to the artists of the Conroe Art League. My name is Jennifer Clausen, and I am pleased to be your host. Today, I am speaking with Cal artist Linda Love. Welcome, and thank you for taking the time to share your art and your story on Cal Live.
Well, you're welcome.
Linda, are you new to the area?
Not really. I've been up here around 8 years.
Okay.
But I didn't know about the gallery or the art league until about a year ago.
Oh, well, that's a shame, but
It is a
hopefully
shame.
we'll do a lot better about getting the word out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your creative background and what shook you up and made you decide to use your talents?
Well, when I was a child, my father owned a printing office, and he would bring home scratch pads. And I was an only child, and I was lonely a lot. I mean, I didn't have playmates all the time, and so I would make up stories, and I would illustrate them on the scratch pads. And so my parents, thought, oh my goodness, she's gonna grow up and be an artist. So when I was a teenager, they enrolled me in some art lessons. A local lady taught art, and she taught oils and watercolors. At least that's what I remember. That's the only medium that I remember. But I did that for a while, and then when I went to college, I wanted to major in art, but I was very shy, and I didn't want to go very far away from home. And so the college that was nearby that I enrolled in, they didn't have a very good art program. So I just kind of gave up on it, and I majored in business instead. And then I got married, and I had a child of my own, and I just never had time to think about art anymore. And then I went to visit my brother-in-law, actually 2 or 3 times. When I would go visit him, I would notice the art on his walls, and he told me that he had painted them himself. They were pastel, and so I asked him if he would paint something for me to hang in my house. And I asked him several times, actually, and he would just kind of blow me off. And so, now this was in 2018. I said, okay, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna do it myself. And so I did. I mean, I wasn't intimidated about trying, pastels or anything like that, I guess, because I, had been introduced to art when I was younger. And so what I did was I went online and I found this online teacher that taught just the very intro level courses in colored pencil, pastel, graphite drawing, charcoal drawing, acrylics, everything.
So the basics, essentially, in any medium you wanted to do.
Yeah, so that I could kind of sample everything and see what I wanted to pursue. But after I finished that, I did enroll in pastel courses just because I guess my brother-in-law, that's what he did, and I got frustrated with it. I think that maybe I just didn't have enough experience to really get the hang of it. And so then I enrolled in a color theory course, because I didn't know how to mix color, because you don't mix color with pastels.
Right.
You just
yeah.
have to have the right color stick, And so I learned about the color wheel and how to mix. And then I started painting in acrylics because this teacher was, used acrylics mostly. And I really loved her work. So I fell in love with acrylics. So I started doing that. And then one thing, led to another. I'm trying to remember how I got started with charcoal. Right now can't think of what started me on it, but I really enjoy that too. And I really enjoy doing portraits because in one of the courses that my acrylics teacher taught during COVID, we had like a 90-day workshop because she couldn't, travel
Sure.
around
Couldn't be
and
in person.
do in-person
Mhm.
workshops. So we did this for 90 days, and we did all kinds of different types of like figures and landscapes and cityscapes and still life and portraits.
Mhm.
And I enjoyed that the most.
Mhm.
So, there we have it.
It's good that you had experience with teachers that allowed you to not only experiment different mediums and find out what really appealed to you, but different subject matter. Because I think
Mhm.
so many times they're so set on teaching you a certain specific style or subject matter
Exactly.
that it doesn't allow you growth. It just pushes their motivation and their, I guess, agenda in a sort of way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, and now I'm really interested in learning how to create textures
Mhm.
and different backgrounds,
Mhm.
instead of just flat background,
Right.
So, that's just kind of an expansion of the basics,
Certainly.
I think. It just enhances,
And correct me if I'm wrong, I think I recall you saying that most of the classes that you have studied with have been online. You haven't done
All
any
of them.
in person?
I've never had an in-person class.
That's amazing. That's I mean, I guess with COVID, it's kind of standard and
Right.
it stopped you from staying at home, hermited up, and allowed you to create.
Well,
But,
Zoom was a big help with
it
that.
is, certainly.
But when I first started in 2018, that was before COVID, but I couldn't find any in-person
Local.
classes around here.
Mhm.
I Googled,
Mhm.
and Cal didn't come up.
Interesting. Yeah.
I Googled it, I guess about a year and a half ago,
Mhm.
and it came up, and I joined
We're going somewhere
right
with
away.
that then.
I joined right away. Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's fantastic.
Mhm.
Are there any particular teachers that have stood out to you and you gathered some good nuggets from them that you use in your work?
Well, the one that taught me the color theory,
Mhm.
and held that 90-day workshop, same lady. Her name is Patty Malika,
Uh-huh.
and she is located right outside of New York City.
Okay.
And her claim to fame is, or I guess the art that she is known for,
Mhm.
is she does New York City street scenes.
Mm.
And how she does this, I do not know, because she does a lot of it plein air.
Mhm.
And there is motion constantly. And how she
That's New York City, right?
and yeah, but how does she
Get in
do
there
that?
and capture it.
But I mean, she'll paint people sitting on a subway, reading a newspaper or something. People, at a fruit stand or one of those mom and pop things. People just crossing the street, Times Square, all of that. So I don't aspire to paint that, but I love her work nonetheless.
Mhm.
And then I had another teacher in Amsterdam that teaches portraiture. That's her That's all she does, as far as I know.
Mhm.
And she uses all kinds of different medium or media, I don't know what the plural, I guess that's the plural. Anyway, she does charcoal and she does pastel and she does multimedia and collage
Mhm.
and all of that. So I learned, a lot from her. She doesn't really focus on creating a likeness to a particular person. She just kind of uses that person as an inspiration.
Mhm.
And so I took a course from her last summer. And one of my drawings that you're going to show today, I got from her class.
Okay.
Okay. I took gouache from a lady in Portugal. Her name is Lena Revo.
Mhm.
And she focuses on, of course, what's familiar to her, and that's Portugal.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of bright sun in Portugal, and so I'm fascinated by her light and dark contrasts
Mhm.
that she puts into her paintings and
Yeah,
things like
if
that.
I recall correctly, I believe they're kind of seaside beach scenes.
Exactly.
So it's either a landscape or a person sitting in the sun,
Yeah,
and so yeah, she uses light in a very interesting way.
she does. It's fascinating to me. I had a painting hanging in the gallery during the period before Christmas
Okay.
when we did the affordable art
Yes.
thing. It was a couple walking a dog on a
Mhm.
beach,
Mhm.
and I got my inspiration from her to do that because they had a lot of lights and shadows in their clothes.
Mhm.
And so I was pretty proud how that turned out, and I owe that all to her.
Well, it's interesting because it appears two of the artists that you have mentioned kind of have this photojournalistic approach to the way they see their communities.
Exactly.
And yeah, that's not art that is as popular as other art forms.
Mhm.
Typically, you'll see portraiture, you'll see landscape, but not so much with human interaction and involvement.
Well, they're telling a story.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
telling the story of their world
sure.
through art. So yeah, I could say that they were my inspirations.
That
Yeah.
sounds great.
Mhm.
And so you prefer portraiture to any other
Well,
subject?
I just enjoy doing it. I just
Yeah.
enjoy seeing a face emerge.
Yeah.
Not to say that I don't enjoy the rest of it too, but that's, I guess, my favorite.
As far as what you create, because obviously you enjoy all sorts of
I do.
subject matter.
I do. The rest of the world goes away
Mhm.
when I'm doing that because I enjoy it that much.
And do you work from live or portraits?
Well, I work from photo references. I've never done plein air.
Mhm.
I want to.
Mhm.
I got a portable easel for Christmas,
Oh, okay.
so I have no excuse not to now. I'm going to participate. Juan Cantabella is going to lead a portrait. It's not a teaching class. It's just they're going to have a live model,
Oh, right.
and we'll meet once a week.
Mhm.
And I'm going to be drawing from a live model.
That's great. And you'll be doing a class, well, not a class, but almost a class in person. So that'll be a nice experience for you as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Did you find that you kept up with any of the people or learned anything from other students in the online classes?
I did because we're all, not all of us, but a lot of us became Facebook friends.
Mhm.
And of course, we all post our art on Facebook. And so we get to, comment on each other's work and all of that. And a lot of us, we wanted to meet in person, but, it's not always easy to arrange.
No, certainly.
No.
And doing the online thing makes it a lot easier to travel with your art because
It does. It does. But we did sort of have a bonding kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, I think it's important for artists to be around other artists and
Mm-hmm.
even to get those nourishing critiques.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been a member of the Conroe Art League?
I believe that I joined last May, so
Okay.
almost a year.
Well, happy anniversary.
Well, thank you, thank you. Well, yeah, and I've enjoyed coming to the artist receptions and meeting, you know, some of the others there at the league. You know, that's really something I look forward to.
Well, I'm happy to hear that, and I'll be sure to pass it along
Yeah,
to the members.
exactly. Yeah.
Hopefully, as the COVID thing kind of settles out, we can have more and more members there. I think it's been slow to start back up, but it's been going well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I enjoy being a docent too.
We
know?
appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I do.
We do need those from time to time, especially on these months where we have outside shows that are juried in. We don't always have the time to have docents fill it up, and so we definitely depend on our members to help us with the gallery. They
Mhm.
mean so much.
Yeah, well, you know, it's, I get back from it as much as I put into it, believe me, I enjoy it. Because I enjoy meeting people that come in the gallery and,
Mhm.
you know, and all that. Not that there's a lot of traffic during the week at least, but still, you know.
Yes, it does vary from time to time.
Mhm.
And so I think we will go ahead and take a look at some of your creations here.
Okay. Well, that's the one that the lady in Amsterdam, I did that during one of her classes.
Mhm.
Her style is kind of sketchy.
Mhm.
So you see the hair,
Mhm.
you know, that's kind of the way she.
So she wants to give you the emotion of the little girl by
Yeah.
not painting in every single little strand, but just
Yeah. Well, you can see, you know.
her movement.
Yeah, exactly.
Very
Mhm.
nice.
Mhm.
And did you show that one at the Conroe Art League?
I did. I had to make it not for sale though, since
Oh.
it was a product of a class.
Mhm.
And since, you know, the teacher provided the photo reference, she asked that, you know, those were proprietary things. So
Okay.
I couldn't sell it, but I wanted to show it off.
Well, we appreciate you doing that. I know that from time to time, we don't want to discourage artists that don't want to sell their work, but we do appreciate them bringing them into the gallery because
Right.
it is nice to see new works and new members coming in and displaying their artwork.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, now this one, there is a website that's owned by an artist named Kara Bullock.
Okay.
And Kara Bullock is a portrait artist.
Mm-hmm.
But she pulls together a lot of other artists that give little short classes, you know, like maybe you produce one piece of art from the course.
Okay.
And one of the artists on her website is named Robert Kelly.
Okay.
And he's a charcoal portrait artist.
Mm-hmm.
And that one that was just up there, I got inspired by Robert Kelly, but I used my own reference.
Okay.
I could sell that if I wanted to, but I did it on newsprint, so it's not on a very good. I mean, it was a practice shade,
Sure.
but it just happened to turn out pretty good. So
These last two were charcoal? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I noticed her hair kind of fades into the background, kind of this dreamy sort of feeling to it.
Yeah, Robert's style
Mm-hmm.
is to kind of leave part of the face or some of the features out,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and so that's where I got that.
Sure.
Well, half of her face, you know, I didn't finish.
Yeah, not only that, but it feels like in those last two portrait images, the eyes are quite intense and very telling.
Yeah.
It seems a nice focal point.
Yep. Oh, and this is my daughter's Jack Russell.
Okay.
I went to visit them, I guess about a year and a half ago, and we were sitting out in the backyard, and I just, with my phone, I made a picture of her. She has 3 dogs, actually, and I made a picture of all 3 dogs, and I painted the dogs' portraits for their Christmas gifts.
Oh, that's nice.
And I really liked the one of the Jack Russell. So now he was done in acrylic.
Okay.
Acrylics, yeah.
And have you done much animal portraiture, I guess it would be called? I don't know.
Well, I haven't done a lot, but I have 3 dogs too,
Okay.
and mine are all miniature schnauzers, and I did their portraits,
Okay.
and they're hanging in my house. Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll be able to see those at the gallery one day.
I guess I could bring them in, but I don't want to sell them because they're mine. They're my dogs.
Well, that is understood.
Yeah.
Where can people see your work other than the gallery? Are you on social media or do you have a website?
I'm a member of Daily Paintworks.
Okay.
That's an interesting website. There was a lady, her name is Carol Marine. Carol Marine is, well, she's a pretty well-known artist, actually. When Carol first got out of college, she was trying to sell her paintings through an art gallery, and the art gallery would only, this particular art gallery, I guess, would only take large paintings. Well, she liked to do small paintings, and she did them a lot just for practice. She actually started a movement called daily paintings, because she felt the only way to really get better is to paint every day.
Okay.
And if you did a little painting, then, you know, it didn't take a lot of time.
Sure.
And all that kind of thing. But she couldn't sell these little paintings. Well, her husband was an IT guy. So she had him create a website for her, and she named it Daily Paintworks. And she invited other artists to sell their small paintings through her website. Now, I don't know if everybody still sticks to that small painting thing, but there are lots of artists and they have their own page on her website, but their own gallery, as she calls it. And you can post all of your work for sale there. And they'll sell it for you, and just like any other gallery, they take a 20% commission from it. So I have it, my art there. I have not created my own website yet, and I don't have my own Facebook page for it. I plan to, but I just haven't gotten to that yet.
No, that's a pretty big start, because that's almost skipping one step and going straight to sales.
Yeah.
So that's always a good thing.
Yep.
No, that is a very interesting website, and I know I went to
Are you familiar with it?
After you told me about it, I
You
had to
looked it
go
up,
check it out. Yes.
Okay.
I considered maybe making some smaller things myself just to kind of have some income coming in. That would be really nice.
Yeah.
It not only as an artist to continue practicing, but to be able to make a little bit of money on the side. That'd be fantastic.
She has monthly contests too that you can enter, and people vote, you know, on the paintings in the contest.
And is it the artists that are on the website that vote, or is it just anyone that goes to the website?
I guess anyone could, I guess, but you know, they would almost have to have an account to log on. Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and every time you post a new painting in your gallery, you get to be on the featured art page
For that date.
for that day.
Yes. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that website is ingenious, and you know, we have people around us that can help us with an idea like that, like her husband in this scenario, and it always helps us get to the next level, whatever that may be.
Exactly.
Well, to see more of Linda's work, as well as the work of the other members of the Conroe Art League, please visit us at the Best Little Gallery in historic downtown Conroe at 127 Symington Street. We are open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Join us at the gallery where we live by our creed: create, appreciate, learn.